Today I'm going to really quickly go over the difference between your off-season training and your in-season training. It's really important that you flip that switch so that you're getting the maximum benefit with a minimum amount of wear and tear. It's Maria here from GoalieTrainingProTV. Welcome back to another episode. This is sort of an off-the-cuff episode because I've been getting so many emails lately and questions on my social about, should I still be doing my training? Should I still be doing 4 days a week lifting? How do I fit all my training in as the season approaches and as we get into the season? So I thought instead of answering a bajillion times, I would just make a quick video. And this might raise some more questions too. So as always, drop your questions in the comments below and I'll get to them. And that's how I get most of the best ideas from my videos. Well, let's start with, so we've got your off-season training on this side, your in-season training on this side. Let's start with mobility. So how are you going to do mobility training in the off-season? Yeah, absolutely you do mobility training in the off-season. In the off-season, we are a little more focused, so keep in mind there's fine adjustments either way, so we don't swing all the way one way and then all the way the other way, but we're a little more focused on increasing the size of the envelope. What do I mean by that? By that I mean increasing your capacity, trying to get you more mobility, and we're a little bit more aggressive about it. In particular, when it comes to our adductors, we're a little more aggressive in our mobility training, which includes our, our functional range conditioning work, eccentric control, and some stretching as well. We're a little more aggressive with that in the off season. In the off season, we still, the goalies in my programs do typically 6 days a week of mobility. The minimum in my programs is 4 times a week. So 4 to 6 times per week a session. The sessions last in the off season probably around 30, maybe up to 40 minutes. Do we do mobility in season? Yes, absolutely we do mobility in season. How often do we do mobility in season? We still do it 4 to 6 times per week. How long do those sessions last? In season, they last about 20 to 30 minutes. Why? Because it has to be doable when you've got everything else going on. I talk to a lot of goalies who feel they're already too busy to do any training. And that's a huge mistake. And it's a bit of a misconception because they think, well, I don't have time to stretch for an hour and then go to the gym and, do all this stuff. So if we make it doable, that's the key ingredient. The key ingredient is doing it consistently. So if we can make it so you can do it consistently by keeping that to 20 to 30 minutes, which even if it means getting up a little early, everybody can find an extra 20 to 30 minutes in the day. So that's the big motivator. But also we're less aggressive. Your adductors, your hips, they're getting a lot of wear and tear at high velocities with dynamic movements. We don't need to get in there and start, yanking on it more. We need to maintain what you've got. Maybe we'll gradually increase it, but we also need to have a bit of a restorative outlook during the in season. So a little bit of a different focus, a little bit of a different approach, but we're still doing our mobility 4 to 6 times per week. Now we get to strength. In the off season, you're probably doing, it depends, but you're probably doing 3 times a full body workout, or you're doing an upper body, lower body split, which would be 4 days a week in the gym. Some of you are going to be like, I go to the gym 17 days a week. That's fine, but these are a couple of the typical ones. So either in the gym working on your strength 3 times a week or 4 times a week, depending on your split routine. there we're following a periodized program. We're working on first just laying that foundation. So they call it anatomical adaptation if you're following a classical periodization model. Then we go to, again, classical periodization model would be hypertrophy, then max strength, then peak power. So we're building that foundation, but then really everything's moving towards this peak power. And our workouts will be, an hour-ish. So I don't like to have the goalies I work with in the gym much longer than an hour. Definitely not longer than an hour and a half. I feel like if I can't give you the workout you need in the off season within an hour plus maybe a bit, then I don't really know what I'm trying to do. I'm sort of giving you and then some of this just in case and some of that, I don't really know where the pieces fit in the puzzle. And there are some hormonal responses over time that when you build up cortisol, it can actually decrease your return. So keep that in mind as well. In the in-season, we're looking at probably 2 times a full body workout per week. And that full body workout is pretty quick. I try to keep mine to 40 minutes or less, again, so that you can do it. I'm not trying to add a whole ton of wear and tear. I'm not trying to, build your max strength and then really, drive the power home. I want to maintain your max strength. Maybe we'll increase it a little bit over time. It depends what you did in the summer. And I want to maintain or improve your peak power, your explosiveness, the way you need it on the ice. So my in-season programs, very rarely do we do things like power cleans. In the off season, we'll use them, but in season, it would be a little bit more, lateral explosive exercises, knee down lateral explosive exercises. Because what I found, especially when I was in the gym, we'd have hockey players, skaters and goalies that would train with us throughout the whole summer. We would test them when they came back to training after the season. We test them throughout the summer, and we test them before they left to join their team. And you know what happened? Even if their team had a workout program that they followed, they came back slower, weaker, and fatter than they were when we sent them off. And sometimes there is a little bit slide, but we are going to fight that slide tooth and nail. So we want to at very least maintain what we've got in terms of peak force production, because that feeds into our power, because keeping your speed and power on the ice is what we really want to do. And we want to keep you healthy. So there's a very good dose of sort of prehab injury prevention, but again, it's just good training. Let's keep you healthy and keep you explosive. And the reason I focus on those as well is that, our stamina work, well, we should be getting that in practice. If you're working hard in practice, you should be getting some stamina work. Is it perfect? Depends on the practice, but it's checking that box. Even local muscular endurance, you're getting stimulus when you're on the ice to help improve that. But what you're not really getting is the opportunity to increase or maintain your peak force or peak power production. So that's why we focus in on those. So this workout might be, 6 or 7 exercises. Keeping one might be a big bang exercise for each of your compound movements, a big leg, a big push, a big pull, and then we're going to put in some more specific exercises that will help you with your speed on the ice and help you stay healthy and in the game. Even if your team trains together, your team has a trainer and you all work out together, what I do in my programs in the Game Winning Goalie Formula and in Turning Pro, I will, so in the Game Winning Goalie Formula, I'll color code the exercises in your workout. So there's 3 different levels of workout, or 3 different buckets of workout, but in 2 of the buckets, I'll say, if you train with your team, then only do the green exercises. So that workout might be 7 exercises long, but you might only have to do 4 of the exercises because they're the really goalie specific things that most strength coaches who work with a team, and I know because I've been a team strength coach before, and I know it's so time consuming. And when I was a strength coach at Western University here in London, I worked with men's and women's volleyball, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's hockey, and track and field. So it's like, okay, I don't have and for women's hockey, I was actually like the trainer, like go out on the ice if someone didn't get up again. But I know that it's like, okay, I don't actually have time to like design like custom program for the setter, custom program for the goalie, custom program for, so I get it. It's hard. But we don't have to revisit the big leg, the big push, the big pull. That's going to be covered in a really thorough manner. We need to cover, though, the goalie-specific stuff. The stuff's going to keep you healthy and the stuff that's going to keep you fast on the ice. So even if your team works out, you can still get your training in. Stamina. In the off season, yes, please. We're going to do that 2 to 3 times per week, and it's going to depend, in both in season and off season, it depends how many times are you going to be on the ice. So in the off season, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe less, usually not more, but maybe less if you're not on the ice all that much. If you're only on the ice if you're on the ice like 4 times, it's going to be less than this. If you're only on the ice once, then you're probably going to be 2 to 3. In season, typically 0. So the only way you'll have to do stamina in season is if you're really recreational player or you just don't have access to the ice. So that might be I only play games on Sunday. So like I only play games on Sunday. Usually I get on the ice 1 other day a week to do some practice and some training. So say I'm on the ice 2 times a week. That is not going to be enough to keep up my goalie specific stamina. So I need to do at least 1 stamina workout on my own. But if I'm playing with a team, say we have 3 practices a week, 1 or 2 games, and I'm working hard in those practices. Like I'm going in like, okay, I'm gonna battle for every puck. I'm gonna really compete here. The practices are pretty challenging. I don't need to be doing extra stamina off the ice to just wear myself down. I want to get recovery when I'm not on the ice so that I'm at my very best when the puck drops on a game. That's what matters. What matters is how many pucks you stop, not how many stamina workouts you do. Speed, similar thing. So in the off season, we'll do 2 to 3 speed workouts a week, typically 2. In season, we might do 1. We might do 1 a week just to keep you fresh, keep those high threshold motor units firing. It's not a bad idea. Again, it depends. And what I do a lot is I will put elements of speed training into your full body workouts. So it isn't another workout you have to do. It's in there with these. So really in season, you're looking at 4 to 6 mobilities and 2 full body lifts that may include elements of your speed and agility training within those full body workouts. That's how we break it down. It differs for everybody. So in the game-winning goalie formula, goalies post their weekly schedule in their accountability, in their personal accountability thread, and then I can review those and say, okay, based on how many practices and games you have, yeah, this looks good, or you need to take this out, or you need to add that in. So you have to find the right mix for you or have somebody help you find the right mix. If you want me to help you find the right mix, click on the link in the description. It tells you about how we can work together, how my group training and my private training programs work. But this sort of lays it out to you, because I think sometimes you think you don't have time to do any training. You do. Sometimes you think, or you try to do as much training as you did in the off season, which is an equally bad mistake to make. So I hope that helps. If this helped you out off the cuff, hit me with a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you've subscribed already, hit the bell so you know about videos before anybody else. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I love you guys.